what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the what's next on Brandon Figueroa, the now former super bantamweight world champion, as he's coming off of a tough majority decision loss to to Stephen Fulton Jr. as they attempted to unify belts on November 27th in the main event of a Showtime card. It was a very good matchup between the two. Figueroa brought the volume punching. He threw more, he landed more, but Fulton landed the cleaner shots, and that's why the judges scored it for Stephen Fulton. But Brandon Figueroa, nothing to hang his head about, but he did mention right before the fight that he would be very interested and very likely moving up to featherweight following any kind of outcome. So that kind of made me a little worrisome right there that he wasn't coming back. And then he called it a robbery, a loss to Stephen Fulton, and Stephen Fulton offered him to run it back, but he just kind of shook his head. So I really think he might be done with featherweight, but I'm not going to completely rule it out. So I'm going to quickly run through both the super bantamweight and the featherweight rankings. But to be honest, I'm not even going to do that. This is simple for me. For Brandon Figueroa, at super bantamweight 122, it's really one option. It's a rematch with Stephen Fulton Jr. to get a potential undisputed title fight with MJ Mirajan Akhmadaliev for later next year. And if he can't get that, he's moving up to featherweight. Plain and simple. If he doesn't stay for a rematch with Stephen Fulton, he's moving up to featherweight. That I think is the only option for Brandon Figueroa in anything he's thinking about. So now at featherweight, is there a chance he gets into the top, fights somebody in the top 10 in his first fight out? Let's run through it and see what happens. We start with number 1, Emmanuel Navarrete. Not going to happen. Navarrete is with top... Well, actually, no. I take that back. It could happen. We could see a firefight like this. I doubt he wants to do it in his first fight out because Navarrete is actually a promotional free agent now. So the fight could take place, but I don't think it will. I think Navarrete is going to go after unification bouts anyways, and Figueroa is coming off a loss. I don't think he wants to roll the dice and take on the top guy in Navarrete in his first fight first official fight at featherweight. Number 2 is Mauricio Lara. Lara's coming off of that knockout win over an upset win over Josh Warrington earlier in the year. They fought again, but it ended in a 2-round no contest. I don't think Figueroa is going to want to take on a guy like Lara right out the gate. Especially with Lara having ties to DAZN and Matchroom. It's kind of a harder fight to make. So I don't think Figueroa goes that road. Number 3 is newly crowned IBF champion Kiko Martinez, who has ties with DAZN and Matchroom. Now, I think Brandon Figueroa would love that fight, but Kiko has other options. He has Josh Warrington as a possibility in an easier fight to make, and he has Emmanuel Navarrete now as an option to unify belts. He's not going to win anything by fighting Brandon Figueroa except for name recognition, and I don't think Kiko's going to roll that dice, so I don't see that fight taking place either. Number 4 is Josh Warrington, the former champion. I don't see this one. Warrington really could have a line at the IBF title against Kiko Martinez, and if not, I think he's just going to try to shake off that loss from last year a little bit more and get a win under his belt. And again, it's Matchroom working with PBC. I don't see that one, not for that fight. Number 5 is Kid Galahad, the former champion. Galahad could very likely be moving to 130 after the loss to Kiko Martinez. I don't think he'd want to fight a guy like Figueroa, and I don't think Figueroa would want to fight a guy like Galahad. And again, Galahad might be moving to 130 anyway, so could be irrelevant, but I think it's irrelevant anyways. Just not the right time, not a good matchup, so I don't see it. Number 6 is newly crowned WBA, or actually it's undefeated former super bantamweight champion Ray Vargas. Now, him and Figueroa are both with the PBC, but I don't see this fight next. The reason being is I think Vargas wants to take a run at the world title or get into an eliminator, and it's only his second fight at featherweight. Figueroa coming off of that loss to Fulton, is he going to want to roll the dice against a guy like Vargas in his first fight at featherweight, I'm not seeing it. But you never know, because they are both with the PBC. Number 7 is Lee Wood, the WBA regular champion. He's got a mandatory defense due against undefeated Michael Conlon. That fight is going to be announced very soon, and Brandon Figueroa doesn't fall into that block of an option right there, so I don't see it. After that, I believe I still have Can Shu of China is still in it. He's coming off of a knockout loss to Lee Wood. He's not going to be interested in that fight. Plus, he has ties with Golden Boy. Golden Boy and PBC are not going to work together unless they absolutely have to, and they don't on this one. So I don't see that one. And then the last couple guys, Tuxco Nayambayar and Joet Gonzalez, Eduardo Ramirez. Nayambayar is a possibility if he comes back down to 126 officially. I wouldn't be surprised, but that's a tough test for Figueroa in his first fight at featherweight. So I'm going to say no to that one because he's a tough Mongolian fighter, but they're both with the PBC. Eduardo Ramirez is also a possibility if he's not at super featherweight now, because he just fought Miguel Mariaga. They both came in at 129.5, just under 130. So I'm not sure if he's officially moving to 130 or if he's staying at 126. Could be possible because he is with the PBC. But again, another semi-dangerous fight for Figueroa in his first fight at featherweight. And then, Isaac Dogbe, he fights for Top Rank. That's not going to happen with Top Rank working with the PBC. So Figueroa, best option in the top 10, in my opinion, is Ray Vargas, Tuxco Nayambayar, Eduardo Ramirez. I would say Eduardo Ramirez would be the more likely choice just because I don't think he's as big a threat as Nayambayar and Vargas. But I honestly think Figueroa, if his debut fight at 126 is probably going to be against lower level opposition, get a win under his belt, knock somebody out, prove that he belongs at that weight. He doesn't want to risk losing 2 in a row by going in against too tough an opponent, so I don't see him doing that. So that's it. I hope he cashes in and takes a rematch with Stephen Fulton, but right now I'm about 50-50 and probably less than 50-50 that he actually takes that. I think he's more likely to go to featherweight and debut there probably like sometime in May to shake off this loss to Stephen Fulton. So that's it. That's the what's next on Brandon Figueroa, the former super bantamweight champion at 122 pounds. I hope you guys enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been here with the truth.